It's time to talk about Middle Tennessee Christian School sports. It's MTCS Cougar Corner, presented by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance. Each week we sit down with the coaches to recap the latest games and preview what's ahead. It's time to talk about the orange and white on MTCS Cougar Corner, right here on WGNS and Big G TV. Stay tuned, the show is coming up right after this message from our sponsors.
Middle Tennessee Christian School, training for eternity.
People love to see us on the schedule when they have a home game because our fans show up.
MTCS President Matt Tiller.
The way we travel is just phenomenal. Our parents and our community are fully engaged in our school. When we compete, we're trying to do it in a way that honors God. We want to win. We also want to do it in a way that pleases Him.
Providing Christian values and academic excellence in a nurturing environment. That's Middle Tennessee Christian School. Invest in the future of your child. Find out more at mtcscougars.org.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in treating local athletes here in Rutherford County. Here's Dr. Russell McKissick with TOA.
We have a passion here for taking care of our athletes here in Rutherford County. We really do our best to take care of them.
Experts in joint, bones, and muscles.
Many years we've been taking care of athletes around here, and we've just picked up where Dr. John started, and we just keep going.
TOA has a playbook that gets you back in the game. To request an appointment, visit TOA.com or call 855-NEED-TOA. TOA, live your best life.
Middle Tennessee Christian School, training for eternity.
We're going to be an educational institution that teach Bible every day. Every subject we teach, we're going to teach through a biblical perspective. In every aspect of our school, we're going to do it through a Christian perspective.
MTCS President Matt Tiller.
That also means that everything we do, we have to be excellent. We feel like Christ calls us to excellence. And so that means we have to be excellent academically. That means we have to be excellent athletically because that's what God calls us to. It's a great place to be.
Invest in your child's future in an environment that fosters Christ-centered values. To find out more, visit mtcscougars.org.
We're back for MTCS Cougar Corner, presented by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance and fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's on 101.9, 100.5, 1450, WGNSSports.com, and Big G TV.
The Coaches Show is brought to you by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance, TOA, the largest and most comprehensive orthopedic surgery group in Middle Tennessee. Find out more at TOA.com. And the Coaches Show is back, and we welcome in MTCS football coach Christian Peterson this morning. How you doing this morning, Coach?
I'm all right. How you doing?
Doing okay. It was a region championship on the line. It was a really good fought game last night. Unfortunately, on the wrong end of it last night. But I mean, it was a lot closer game than the final score would indicate.
Yeah. I thought for the first two quarters we played well enough to win the game. Was really proud of how we came out and executed in the first half. Thought we were able to dictate the game a little bit. In the second half we just made some uncharacteristic mistakes, some things that we really hadn't done. The last 2 weeks of practice, like we've been doing some things really well, and you can't have those self-inflicted wounds in those kind of games. You've got to be able to stay ahead of the chains and put yourself in a good spot. And, offensively, I thought we got ourselves behind the chains too many times. I thought defensively, we let them extend some drives that we had stops on, and, things like that. You start adding those up throughout, and, that can be a difference in a ball game.
Yeah, and it was just a great night, great atmosphere. It was packed on both sides, and one of the plays that stood out to me, I feel like you had really good momentum going into the half. You go for it right there, right before the half, and you punch it in to take the lead going into the break.
Yeah, I think our kids never flinched. They knew that we were going to go. We were going to go for it on fourth down there. We were going to try and punch it in, and try and steal that momentum going into half. And, our kids were excited to go for it, excited for the opportunity. And, they executed well. Like I said, going into break, I felt really good about where we were. We just got to play a better second half.
Yeah, and just really a play here, a play there. I mean, it's a one possession game, 5 minutes to go in the game, and one thing goes differently. You're going to come out on top of that game last night.
Yeah, normally I'll sit back and watch the film that night. We'll sit down and we'll watch it. We'll watch it today. But I'm sure we're going to go back and look and see a play here, play there where, we extend a drive, we get some points, we get a stop, credit them. They made some plays. They had, receivers made some plays, quarterback made some plays, running backs ran hard for them. I think our D line played well all night. Thought our linebackers flew the ball well. I thought our DBs did a good job keeping things in front of them for the most part. We wanted to make them drive the ball down the field, and I think we were successful in that. Offensively, I think in the first half, I think up front, we really controlled the game. In the second half, I think we just made some uncharacteristic mistakes, some things that, we didn't do in the first half, credit them. They
this
practice
storm
too.
is wild.
They're kids.
It's like a battle
They have a
zone.
very senior
How
heavy
will you
team.
tackle those lightning
And their
strikes?
seniors made some plays. But at the end of the day, we put ourselves in a position to compete for a region championship. We've put ourselves in a position to host a first round playoff game. And now it's about turning the page and getting into the second part of the season, right? And nothing that happened before right now matters anymore.
Exactly right. And before we look ahead, talk about a couple of the individual performances last night. Really impressed with the run-in of Ali Bengira and Riley Brown last night for your team.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll start with Riley. I thought the start of the game, he had two really big runs there on that first drive that really kind of get us going. We were backed up on that first one, and we don't get points, but it allows us to change the field position a little bit. Really proud of how he ran. Did a really good job all night. And then, Ali's been a constant for us. He played really, really well on both sides of the ball. Gets an interception on defense, came down, made some tackles. He ran the ball well. Again, I think it's a testament to our O-line. I thought they did a really good job. And I think there's a lot of positives in it. It's one of those things where it's going to hurt for a little bit. These games, these rivalry games, you want to win it, but you want to make sure that one loss doesn't become two.
Yes.
Don't let it affect the next week.
Yeah, and defensively, I was really impressed with your defense. Your defense really, stoned them a couple of times inside the red zone. Got a couple turnovers, like you were talking about Bengira getting the interception. I was really impressed with your defense, really the whole night last night. Really kept you in the game. And a couple of kids that I just want to mention, Eric Bowling had 13 tackles last night, and Landry Mason also had 10 tackles last night.
Yeah, not very often you have a defensive tackle end up with 10 tackles. I thought he played his best game. Another one of those sophomores we have that the future is very, very bright for him. I think him and Roy inside, Roy Culberson, another sophomore for us. I think both of them have the opportunity to be big-time players. And we've watched them kind of grow throughout the season. And so, I was really happy for Landry to see all the hard work he's put in pay off. Eric, kind of our senior leader there on defense, he's been Mr. Consistent. I think he's up around 95 tackles in 8 games. Has 4 interceptions, a couple sacks, forced fumbles. He's done it all. And he's only in his second year ever playing football.
Wow.
And so, the growth that he's gone through in 2 years has been fun to watch, and just the development piece. And then, Cooper Jones, another one of our sophomores, I thought he flew around, thought he made some plays, was physical. I think you kind of look at it and go, we're going in the right direction, but we're not where we want to be yet. And the good news of it is, we've played well. Our body of work for the season has put us in a position to host a playoff game. And then, at this point, again, now it's time to lock in. Now it's win or go home. Now we get to go and and play a home playoff game, and hopefully get to go on the road again and go and try and make a run at this thing.
Yeah, and one other person I want to kind of mention a little bit before we get into playoffs and next week and that kind of stuff was Marlo Nichols. I thought Marlo did a really good job of running your offense last night. You got a lot of shifts and movement, which I really love watching your offense. It's unique and it's hard to defend, and it really gives yourself a really good chance to get yardage every time you snap the ball. But I really was impressed with how Marlo ran the offense last night.
Absolutely, he's another one. I mean, the sky's the limit for him. He's a freak athlete. He's got a rocket attached to his arm. He can do it all. I think he continues to get better. I think, there's going to be a point where people look at on the field, and he's got the opportunity to be the best player on the field. He's another one that, and he'll tell you, he's not where he wants to be right now. But I think he's trending in the right direction. I think, practices are getting more consistent. And it might not always show up on the stat sheet right now, but, as a coaching staff, we feel better and better each week, with where he's at. And, I think he's put himself in a position to grow throughout this postseason and then get into the off season and really have a big year.
And you mentioned it earlier, now you turn the page. Now you're in the second season. Now you're in the playoffs, and not only in the playoffs, you get to host a game this week, which is really exciting. And I think that'll be easier for your guys to turn the page.
Yeah. I think, again, we talked about it. We don't allow this loss to leak into next week. It's gonna hurt. You're gonna be mad. You're gonna have all this. You're gonna have all the emotions that come from these kind of games. But when we show up on Monday, make sure that we channel that into our game next Friday. Again, don't forget all of the good things we've done to this point to put us in a position to host a playoff game and kind of get the ball rolling.
Yeah, and you said it kind of right there in your own words. You got to earn the right to host a game next week, and that, I think that's a lot of kids. Will be disappointed from the rivalry outcome, but being able to host it and knowing that you earn that's got to help you get into practice this week.
Yeah, again, I think you look at it and go, from where we are last year to this year, I think we're a significantly better football team. I think we've continued to grow, and I think kind of projecting into the future, we're going to be a significantly better football team next year. And so don't waste these opportunities to keep getting better, right? Like, let's use these hopefully next 4 or 5 weeks to keep practicing, to keep getting better. Again, try to go make a run, try and make it weird, and then kind of regroup and get ready.
One of the unique things about MTCS that we saw last night, senior night, and all that kind of stuff. One of your seniors, they said, had been there for 15 years, and that just goes to show. Not many. There's very few schools, really, not just in the county, across the country, that you could say you were there for 15 years, and some of these young men were there for 15 years. And talk a little bit how special that is and what it really means. And I saw some young kids interacting with your guys last night, and how that next group coming behind them is what it means to them.
Absolutely. I think that's what makes our place special is the community that we have. It's not a place that people come to and then want to leave. Right? Once you get to MTCS, most of them just stay. And I think it's a testament to our administration, it's a testament to our teachers, it's a testament to the culture the entire school has. I think I think things are done the right way. It's fun. It's been fun to watch them grow. We had a lot of that senior group weren't football players when they were in middle school, or some of them weren't football players when they were freshmen, and to watch them kind of come out and join and grow and get better has been a lot of fun to watch. And then, when you look down at our youth programs, our middle school, our elementary school, I think we have some really good coaches down there who are doing a really good job. I think, again, our community kind of shows through there. And so the future is very bright at MTCS. We're still a young team. It's not an excuse. We're older than we were last year. But it does allow you to look at it and go, man, like the opportunity for growth is still so high. You play a first half like we did, you see where the potential is. And, we've got to get back in the film room and figure out how we keep playing like we did the first 2 quarters.
Yeah, and let's get into the playoffs now. You're going to host Chattanooga Grace, a great opportunity for your group Friday night. And, if you were to advance, you'd play the winner of Trinity Christian and Franklin Christian. And, you got a chance to your guys to go out and advance.
Yeah, absolutely. You get into the postseason, it takes a little bit different kind of edge. And I feel good about where we're at. We got some nicks and some bruises, that everybody has right now, but get healthy, clean some things up, try and go win a game, and then again, once you start getting into the playoffs, once you earn that right into the playoffs, at that point it's one game, and just go out playing for that game and move on. And I'm excited about our group. I think there's a lot of opportunity in front of us.
And you're watching your group last night. I always watch down there at the sidelines kind of afterwards. You can tell your group is hungry. That they did not like that taste last night. And I feel like personally they're going to use that as fuel coming up these next few weeks in the playoffs.
Absolutely. I think we've kind of said it about them all year. We've got a really scrappy bunch. We're not always the biggest team when we step on the field, but we're going to give you 4 quarters of a fight. And I think we did that last night. I thought they played really hard. I thought our effort was there. We just got to execute at a higher level. But again, I think the future is very bright. I think the want to win, the drive to win, all of the intangible pieces, that you kind of talk about as a coach, like you can't coach that, right? Like it matters to you has to come from you. And, I do think it matters to our kids, and I think it matters to our community and to our coaching staff. And I think that's what's going to allow us to turn the page and understand that we've got to sit down and we've got to look ourselves in the mirror and figure out what we've got to do better, and go play in the playoffs and try and win some games.
And looking at the bigger picture for private school football in Murfreesboro, I mean, what a great atmosphere last night. A region championship on the line. Obviously, wish a play or two would have gone differently. But what does that say about what private school football in Murfreesboro is and what it's growing to and what it's going to be in the future?
Yeah, when I got here in 2021, me and Tackett kind of looked around and we're like, man, the bones are all here. And, I think we've been able to prove that over 5 years. We've been a consistent winner, a consistent playoff team, consistently hosting home playoff games. You knew PCA was gonna get it going. You knew it was gonna be dogfights. And when we were the senior heavy team, they were the sophomore heavy team. We got them. Now when they were the senior heavy team, we were the sophomore heavy team. They got us. But I think this is going to be one of those games that year in and year out is going to have playoff seeding on the line, region championships on the line, bragging rights on the line, and it's what makes high school football fun. And I think both programs are going in the right direction, and I think it's going to continue to be a big game and a fun game, and I think we're going to win a few here in the coming years.
Oh, no doubt about that. One thing I need to do right here before we get into the next thing here is Eric Bolin and Landry Mason, both at double-figure tackles, and they are going to be our SRM's Concrete Solid Performer, locally grown, nationally known SRM Concrete. And speaking of SRM Concrete, that field is immaculate. It is beautiful. They've done a really good job, and I really enjoyed the facilities. And I know you're talking about it's even going to get better.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't say enough. Really appreciate everything SRM has done. The field has been a game changer for us. Obviously on Friday nights it's fantastic, but for practice, it's been a huge benefit to us. Again, I think it goes back to our community cares. They're willing to help out and to make sure that our kids get to play with the best and have the best. And this off season we were able to upgrade our locker room. We were having a turf field. We got a brand new scoreboard coming in soon. And so, we're going to continue to add new things and continue to make it better. And, because our kids deserve it. I think they've done their part. They've worked their tail off. And so we're going to make sure that we have the very best. And, when you play in Murfreesboro, you're expected to win, right? It doesn't matter what school you're at. Like we're in the best city in the entire state of Tennessee for high school football. And, I think the future is very, very bright.
No doubt about that. And I know you're still getting over a little bit last night, but have you been able to turn a page at all and got anything into Chattanooga Grace, or do you start doing that today and later on this week?
Well, it's being a little unique because they're a region opponent, so we played them earlier. So we have a little bit of an idea of kind of who they are. For us though, it's going to be much more about making sure we fix us. Let's fix what went wrong in the second half. Let's look at what went right in the first half. Yeah. Again, let's be honest with ourselves. Where was it plays where we made a mistake that was self-inflicted, and making sure that we clean it up. And again, once you get to the playoffs, nothing else matters. When the playoff brackets come out, there's not a list of all your other games listed. It's just the bracket. And so we'll be able to go out and play and hopefully come out with a win and get this ball rolling.
Well, we appreciate it, Coach. We enjoyed coming out to see you last night, and good luck in the playoffs starting this week. And everybody come out Friday night to MTCS to see a playoff game and get the Cougars into the next round.
Awesome, man. Appreciate you having me.
All right, this is MTCS Coach Peterson, and the Coaches Show is brought to you by Middle Tennessee Electric, serving our community by providing affordable, reliable, and safe electricity. Online at mte.com.